I noticed I have to catch myself when I'm going to other cities and living in Austin.
Yeah.
Because it really is a weird fucking city. Like,
it is, yeah.
Because it's so weird, there's no such thing as weird here.
Yeah.
Everyone's just doing their shit. But, yeah, some other places you go, even some places up in Minnesota last I visited, I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah. You definitely feel the difference.
Yeah.
A different city.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Like, oh, okay. Gonna try to be, I guess, a little bit more not Austin here.
It makes me want to do it more.
Yeah.
They need to be exposed to the truth.
They need to know. Yeah. There's definitely a lot of cities that I've been to. I mean, not that I've been to a lot of cities, but there's been some cities where you could just feel the, like, it just feels
the
really
aura.
claustrophobic and, like, pretentious and everything, and you're just like, I don't want to be here. Gotta get out as soon as I can. So.
Yeah, there's subcultures everywhere. I've never been to New York, and I'm going for the first time.
Nice.
With Lauren and Christmas.
That's awesome.
So, yeah. I'm really excited.
That's fantastic.
So I know it's a big. Before I first moved here, my 3 choices were here, LA, and New York City because they're entertainment industry hubs, and Austin was I think a little more practical because I had the sisters here, but.
And also it's cheaper here.
Yeah, and it's cheaper. But New York was on the list, and I want to go see it, you know.
Yeah.
I hear their crowds are the hardest to win over, so I'm like...
Yeah, probably.
What's up, New York? Yeah.
Yeah, I visited New York when I was 15, and it was very overwhelming.
Yeah?
Yeah.
There's
just so much
noise and lights and people. And...
Yeah. And as someone who grew up in Texas where everybody's really friendly, like, if you bump into a stranger, you say, oh, I'm sorry, and they're like, oh, no, it's okay, like, you have that conversation.
Not in a packed city.
If you bump into somebody in New York, they're already halfway down the street as you're saying, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And so you just have to keep going, and that was so weird for me. I was
high
like,
pace.
So.
Nice gets you nothing in this town. It's dog eat dog, all right? You got to be a killer to get ahead. You know what I'm saying?
This is very true. Yay, New York. That's why I won't ever live there. It would eat me alive.
Yeah, I'm curious to kind of, you know, bask in the vibes, so to speak.
Yeah.
San Fran, I can see why Austin is considered San Francisco's sister city. There's a lot of sibilance in that sentence, and it's still going on. But yeah, but the people definitely aren't as nice there, generally speaking.
Yeah, I've been to San Francisco too. It's okay.
It was dope. I had a great time.
I liked it when I was there. Was when I was living in California. My dad was playing in a little town outside of San Francisco, like on the other side of the bay.
Mm-hmm.
So, my friend Jessica and I drove up there, and we spent like a day in San Francisco, and then the next day went and saw my dad and everything, and so it was pretty cool.
Yeah, it sounds like a dope trip.
We went to the Ghirardelli factory, and I ran up the steps, and she sang the Rocky theme while I did. It was great. Awesome. Well, welcome to Julie's Infinite Playlist. We have Tim Gatban for the second time.
Hello.
A.K.A. Animal Abstrakt.
How you doing? Jinx, you owe me an interview on the podcast. Number 3.
Right. How's it going today?
It's good.
Yeah.
It's been a good weekend. Gotten a lot done.
Nice.
Yesterday was really frustrating because most of it was spent arguing with invisible people on the phone and taking care of the to-dos, all that kind of shit. But yeah, a lot of music got done today as well. So.
Awesome. So, you do have music coming out on a new album.
I do. An EP of sorts.
Yes.
5 tracks. Yes. Yeah, it's called Evolve, and it's something new for me. It's over somebody else's music, someone else's beats, which I haven't done before, and so kind of gives me another, like we were just talking about, polygons. Gives me a chance to express another side, and kind of going more on the conventional hip-hop route, and just bringing rhymes, making dope music, but I don't know if I'll ever make a song where I don't put any guitar on it. You know, like, you probably notice like just a little
something,
little things here and there, and just embellishments if anything. But I'm stoked about it. I'm trying to get it done so I can get it out in October. It's it's tough when you got 40 hours a week and
Right.
blah, 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 but making it happen.
Awesome. And is there a concept for the EP overall?
Kind of. It's called Evolve, and I think a lot of the lyrics touch on reflecting on self and world, which, I mean, ultimately that's what a lot of fucking art is, but, and just getting out of wherever the hell it is you feel like you're stuck, and growing, adapting, evolving, trying out new shit, and that's, like I said, that's what this project is for me. So it's if there is an overarching theme to it, then that's definitely along the lines of it.
Awesome.
It's also just some new music to get out into cyberspace, and I haven't released anything in a while, so
yeah,
I'm itching to get it out there.
Definitely. And how long has it taken from the beginning stages to?
So it kind of happened by accident. UFO, the guy producing it is the same guy who does a lot of UFOs production, and he and I linked up like just a few months after I moved here. My now roommate took me to a show he was on, and I was like, this guy's dope, so I invited him over, and we started collaborating, and he showed me these songs he'd written over some beats by a guy out in California, and of course he hooked me up with a SoundCloud link, and I started listening to him, and I would just be vibing with some because he'd asked me for features, or he asked me for a feature on God, so
yeah,
I was listening to it a lot there, and then I kept listening to his beats, and ideas kept popping up, so I was like, oh shit, this is nice, and I hit up you up like, yo, are you using this beat? Can I use this beat? You're not using this, are you? And so it kind of happened that way, and his name's Trey Gray, and he was super receptive about the idea, and so yeah, I mean the project is as much his as it is mine, and I've never even met the dude, but he seems dope. And what was the initial question? I go on train of thought sometimes.
It's okay. How long has it taken?
Oh, okay. Let's see. I want to say like baby stages started probably a year ago.
Okay.
But it didn't formulate into an idea where I had some songs close to done enough for me to be like, oh, these could fit together into something. That didn't really happen until like 3 months ago, maybe.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, perfect. I can just put out this little project and release the album next year.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Just a little taste before the
little hors d'oeuvres. Yes. A little flavor.
Before that main course comes out.
Yep. Exactly.
And do you have a favorite song or a favorite line from a song from this album? From this little EP?
Just because of how what's the word I'm looking for? How dynamic and musical it is. I think the bonus track, Runnin', is my favorite. But it is kind of entirely different from the rest of the project. So if I had to pick one of those, I'd say All the Way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which you haven't even heard yet. So,
I know.
Yeah. I'm excited to get that one done.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, by the way, we're recording this and that song's not done yet. And y'all are tripping out because you're listening to the past.
It's totally the past.
And it will be the future once you hear this.
But really, it's the present. And are there any stories you'd like to share behind any of the songs?
Let's see. Well, I guess a lot of it is just kind of putting together a number of the ideas that have coalesced in the past couple of years, and yeah, as far as specific stories go, the only one that really comes up is for that bonus track, and it came into my possession through unfortunate circumstances, and I'm infinitely grateful for it. But shout out to Nia Brookins and Off on a Tangent. She was nice enough to allow me to use the instrumental
Yeah.
and turn it into something. So, yeah, I'm just grateful as fuck because I think something cool happened with that song. You know.
Definitely. It's a bit. Out of what I've listened to, I think it's my favorite.
Yeah. No, that's dope. I'm kind of predicting that. Like, I'll probably get excited when somebody says another is their favorite.
Yeah.
Like, oh, sweet, something else. Because that happened with Flesh, Blood, and Rhythm. Everyone's like, Sound of Light.
Yeah.
Sound of Light. I'm like, I know. And I knew that was going to happen.
Yeah.
But that's just how it is, man. You got to let creativity do what it wants and trust yourself and let people fucking pick what they want.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I think there's always like one song that is kind of a general favorite on an album or, you know, EP or whatever, but then everybody has like another one that they're just like, this is also such a good song.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, that's the best when I discover something and just get addicted to it for like sometimes it's days, sometimes weeks, and you'll always come back to it periodically. But there were a number of times where that's what kind of delved me into a new artist. I'd hear a new song by him. And I was like, oh, what? Wait, what?
Right.
Who's this?
That's actually happening right now with me with G-Eazy, because he's been kind of putting out like little songs here and there before his album. And
hell yeah.
I've kind of liked him, and then he put out this one, No Limit, and it's got this sick like kind of 90s hip hop beat.
I'm about it. Yep.
And it's so good.
See, I don't even jam him that much. There's so many. There's so many artists, you know. It's hard to keep up with, and I'm the type of musician where I'm gonna cut myself off from other people's content periodically, and focus on what I'm doing, and you know, try to extract something in its quote unquote purity, even though it's never really the case. But yeah, it's like, and then when you do find an artist that you really love, you're gonna binge their shit for a while and go even longer not discovering this, that, and the other person.
I've definitely done that.
So, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of times, especially with rap artists, I feel like they tend to have features the most out of every genre, and I'll be like, I like that versus that person did. I'm gonna go check them out real quick, and then I'm like, they're good, but I'm going back to what I was listening to before.
Sometimes it's hit or miss.
Yeah.
One case where that was successful for me was when I heard Hobson's verse on Am I a Psycho by Tech Nine. Have you heard that song?
I don't think I have, no.
He had my favorite verse on that song, easily.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, who's this guy? And then I saw the Ill Minds and shit. Yeah. He's doing some good shit out there.
Nice. Awesome. And what have been your biggest challenges with this album? Or have you had any?
With this? Time.
Yeah.
As is the challenge most of the time.
Yeah.
Really, that's been it. Yeah. Budgeting for it, and I mean, similar challenges to any project or creative work. It takes time, it takes money, and if you want it to be good and for it to be something that, you know, people can value, then you gotta come correct. So it takes time and money.
Yeah. Definitely. Do you have any funny stories from recording?
Funny stories to say. Not too many. I mean, I can recall plenty of moments of frustration throughout the process, but it's kind of just been like one of those deals where you just keep fucking eking along.
Yeah.
Like I'd get whole takes of one song and be like, sit on the mix for a week and I don't fucking like that. I gotta redo it, you know. And just finding the time to really get in the zone and make sure that you're not half-assing or just writing down something for the sake of
having something.
Yeah, having something.
Yeah.
Because it can happen easily, but I'm not necessarily a speed writer. Some songs they'll come out real quick, and other songs I've really got to chew on what I want to say, because I mean everybody's a fucking rapper, and people talk a lot, and yeah, just
A lot of people say the same thing.
yeah, and I would rather really really pay attention to what the music is telling me, and what what it is that I'm conveying in this. To me, the song's already there. I just have to bring it down and translate it,
Right.
And that goes for lyrics as well. So yeah, it's not really not too many funny stories. Just like really, it's been about chewing on these songs and turning them into something hot.
Yeah. And you're gonna do maybe a little tour or do some.
Yes. So once this is out, I kind of want to use it to fuel the album's release next year, next June. So for Evolve, what I would like to do is something a little more practical, a spaced out Texas tour.
Okay.
Where I will go to a different city every weekend. Yeah. Because as of right now, like, I need the hours.
Right.
I need to work my week job. And then on the weekends I can go. It's not that far to go to Houston, to go to San Antonio, Dallas.
Yeah.
San Marcos, etc. So, yeah, I'm going to be doing that. And then for the album next year, I'm going to plan a Midwest tour.
Nice.
Go up to Minnesota and surrounding area and come back down.
Yeah. Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And do you want to talk a little bit about the single that you're going to put out before?
Sure, yeah. Bottomless is the first song that came about of Trey and I's collaboration.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the single I'll be putting out beforehand, and it's kind of like some other parts of the project. Gets a little political, but it's also just like a bouncy, like, let's go kind of song. And this in a way was the cracking of the eggshell for this project. So
okay.
So yeah, I thought it was appropriate one to release first.
Awesome. So what's next? What are your goals in general?
My goals. So you met Mike Odanga.
Yeah.
And him and I have been working together a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And what he's doing is building a production company called Music Live.
Okay.
And he needs content.
Yeah.
He needs artists. And I'm an artist with content who needs publication and help with just, managing shit and booking, funding, etc., etc. And he's been a big help, and he's been bringing people on board as well, like that girl in the intro of Takeoff.
Yeah.
Met her through him, and she's an actress that works with the film crew that came on board with us. So, yeah, it's been I've been really blessed to have the experience of this teamwork, and it's kind of a partnership, even though in a way we're still our own entities as Animal Abstrakt and Music Live, but everybody wins, and so so my plan in the immediate future is for us to build those two, like for me to build a fan base, for him to build his company, and really start making serious moves. Like, yeah, I feel it. I feel like it's time. It's time pretty soon. Awesome. So yeah, just doing everything I can to set up the dominoes.
Nice. Very cool. Do you have any upcoming shows scheduled?
Right now, the only show I have scheduled is in November. I believe it's November 19th. And Mr. Nick Chuck Dews, what's his stage name? I can't remember. I can't remember what he goes by on stage, but he works with Valor Allen and Foci and them guys. Anyway, they're local cats, and they're putting the show on.
Awesome.
I'm trying to find the details for it. Here we go. Yeah, we got a little November 18th at Scratch House. And from what I could see on the lineup, it's going to be a dope show. I'm excited for that.
Awesome.
So, yep, that's the next one.
Awesome. And just for anybody who may not have heard the other episode with you, where can we find your music and keep up with you?
You can find it on YouTube, iTunes, Bandcamp, SoundCloud, Reverb Nation, etc. Yeah, pretty much anywhere.
Yeah.
You would usually search for music, but if you're listening to this in October, probably in the process of uploading Evolve to everything, so I might only have it on YouTube or something.
Yeah.
Yep.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Fantastic. You want to play a song?
We could play a song. We could do a song.
Yeah.
Shit. Let's see. How do we do this?
Would you?
I could just record it on here, huh?
Yeah.
What it is. Animal Abstrakt, Julie's Infinite Playlist. There we go. Put me on a high horse, put me on my back. Put me on the right course or up in the trap. I'm still feeling for that final feeling from feet to the cap. If you don't like it, you probably think I'm too abstract. Put me on a high horse, put me on my back. Put me on the right course or stuck in the trap. I'm still feeling for that final feeling from feet to the cap. You don't have to like it, you probably think I'm too abstract. It's like I'm living a life inside of a flashback. Like I've been living a life that I already have had. That's how I know when I'm drowning in my surroundings and downing other people clowning my sound that all of the last lap. Crash landed and stranded onto this planet. My baggage was lost in transit and vanished. But I ain't mad cause the fact is that I've been prancing with Alice after white rabbits. And after I found the balance, I noticed life's only half bad, half good, half right and half wrong. Assuming servants could sing a psalm or a sad song. Serving the source of a greater power. Consuming all of the earth's resources that they devour. Important to make it ours, the choice of the latest hour. While all of these other blinded conformists complain and cower. Especially when the big money whores of the major powers are living it up in the top floors of a Mason tower. I ain't falling for the allures, it may have sounded sweet, but the texture is coarse and the taste is sour. Instead, I'ma keep recording these noises and make them louder with poise and prowess. I don't need to force you to think about it, so put me on a high horse, put me on my back. Put me on the right course or up in the trap. I'm still feeling for that final feeling from feet to the cap. If you don't like it, you probably think I'm too abstract. Put me on a high horse, put me on my back. Put me on the right course or stuck in the trap. I'm still feeling for that final feeling from feet to the cap. You don't have to like it, you probably think I'm Listen to this, I've been gifted with wishfulness now. Wishes that whisper inside with a different sound. Just of it is, this mystical kid was enlisted in his military, but then life took a different route. Dagnabbit, I'm snapping off in a tangent. See, actually, I see the passion within me as a massive and savage source of imaginative forces waiting to impact the whole course of history. So tell me what you think of it now. Heaven and hell, I got a battle of both of them. Glare right back at the basilisk. Make calamari and caviar out of the kraken. Put mastodons in a casket so you can imagine it's just been twisting my wrist till my skin gets a ripping it out. Houston, we got a hippopotamus up a problem. It's almost as if the power and power is trying to keep people powerless, down and out and anonymous. Probably plotting population control apocalypse. Just a bunch of prosperous arsonists burning up all of their phosphorus, hidden in darkness like the Nautilus. Can't see this shit with binoculars, but it's so fucking obvious. You too fixated on the problems and effects instead of what's causing it. Fuck all of that then, let's stick to the positives. Even in spite of all of this, I'm still feeling marvelous. Get caught up in your cartilage, tossed around in my mosh pits. No stopping this awesomeness, where it come from is bottomless. Put me on a high horse, put me on my back. Put me on the right course or up in the trap. I'm still feeling for that final feeling from feet to the cap. If you don't like it, you probably think I'm too abstract. Put me on a high horse, put me on my back. Put me on the right course or stuck in a trap. I'm still feeling for that final feeling from feet to the cap. You don't have to like it, you probably think I'm too abstract. Probably think feeling for that final feeling from feet to the cap. You don't have to like it. Hey, that was a good take.
Thank you for listening to Julie's Infinite Playlist. This podcast was created, edited, and and produced by Julie Roth, with help from Nick Colbert, and special thanks to Nikki Nadeau. The theme song was created and produced by Animal Abstrakt. All of the songs performed belong to the musicians performing them. If you like the podcast, please rate and review on Apple Podcasts, and subscribe on Google Play, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or Stitcher, and share it with your family and friends. Find us on Facebook and Instagram to keep updated on the podcast and when the bands featured are performing in Austin. Also, check us out on Snapchat to catch videos from shows I go to, and maybe even some sneak peeks. Sneak peeks. Sneak peeks. Sneak peeks.